perspective.
Reincarnation refers to the philosophical or religious idea that us human beings will take on a new life after we die. In other words, we will be born again with new bodies and minds and lives. That's a great idea. It's an idea that I think works quite well when we consider the nature of the universe. And even if there is no reincarnation, it can be useful to live as though there were reincarnation. I once knew a man named Alvin. Alvin was once of the brightest boys I knew in my elementary school days. He was intelligent, good with money, and the girls seemed to like him. I was always jealous of Alvin. But Alvin, he was an atheist. He loved to talk about how when we die, that's it. There's no coming back and there's no second chance. He loved taking risks because he knew that were he to perish suddenly, there would be no post-mortem consequences for his actions. But one day Alvin got a little too confident in himself, a little too big for his britches. He told everyone he could hold his breath to the count of 200 seconds. Alvin gave it a try. We watched him as he turned green, purple, blue, yellow, and various other colors. Eventually Alvin collapsed to the ground. He was not breathing, and he would never breathe again. I missed Alvin. I kept having these dreams about him. He would appear in my dream and say, "Oh my God, the afterlife is really amazing. You have to come and try it out." He would tell me that I need to hold my breath as well in order to visit him. I didn't want to do so, since I had started making some good money helping Mr. Handoman out after school organizing the school lunchbox room. I had a lot to live for, and I had about 4 girlfriends at the time that I needed to stick around in order to take care of, since without me they would be forced to marry the brutes of the playground. I didn't ever join Alvin, but during a battle on the playground, during which the handsome boys, of which I was a member, were doing battle against the fat and the skinny boys, I was knocked to the ground by a particularly muscular fat boy. When on the ground, I saw a praying mantis just looking at me. It looked at me in my eyes, the beautiful creature. I could see that its eyes resembled those of Alvin. In fact, I knew it was Alvin. He had the same demeanor. It was at that moment that I became a believer in reincarnation. I stepped on the bug and threw my shoe at one of the fat boys. "Your life is no better than a bug," I told the boy. It was true. Unlike the fat boy, I had the Mondo perspective, and I knew that when we die, we reincarnate. But to this day, I refuse to acknowledge this fact to my girlfriends. Here's a thought to leave you with. What would you like to be reincarnated as? A baboon? A salamander? Leave your answer in the comments.